What's up, everybody? This is NealReal, and this is the Father You Didn't Have. Wisdom from an elder about relationships and happiness in life. Like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get right into this topic. So, can men and women be friends? The answer is yes, but based off of 3 conditions. All right. Number 1, you are blood relatives. Number 2, you're not relatives and you already had sex. Number 3, neither person is sexually attracted to each other. So, as you can see here, the issue between men and women being friends is sex. Because the opposite sex is attracted to each other sexually, there could be a space where they want to have sex. The problem is that one may not want to have sex with the other. All right, so there'd be one woman who say she's not interested in the man having sex with her. Well, it wouldn't be appropriate for him to be friends with that woman either, meaning he's giving her attention and time. And I mentioned the friendship and all the levels that it provides for a person, because he wants to have sex. And so he wants to have sex with her and she don't want to have sex with him. So here he is providing all her needs. She's providing all his needs except sex. So that's a unequal relationship. Okay. And so he's losing in the deal. You see what I'm saying here? So it's not good for a man and a woman to be friends if one of the two don't want to have sex with the other, because somebody's going to feel ripped off. You know, they're not getting their needs met. And so it's important to not be so close to such people like that. Now, if you want to provide their needs, that's fine. But when it comes to sex, you're just not going to get that. And if you want to say that's okay, that's fine. But I found that even if a man, let's say he wants to have sex with this particular woman, she says no, but we can be friends, and he's friends with her. Even if he is getting his sexual needs met by other women, he still may want to participate in sex with her. And so it still may be an issue for him to hear about her being with other men, but not so much if his needs are being met. But it's just something to think about. Can men and women be friends? Totally, they can. Now, the other way they can be friends if they already had sex. So say they were boyfriend and girlfriend, married couple, whatever. They had sex, they broke up, they got that out their system. They can totally be friends and provide a mutual benefit to each other as friends, as I mentioned in my What is a Friend and What is Friendship video. And that will be great because the sex is out of the way. There's no desire anymore. They found that perhaps they're incompatible sexually or in other ways, and they just feel like, you know what, yeah, we don't need to do that. And so, great. They can be friends completely and be able to mutually support each other wholeheartedly without anybody in a relationship feeling like they're not getting what they need, in this case, sex. And then third, neither person is sexually attracted to each other. Okay, so that would totally work. They look at each other and say, ain't nothing about you that makes me want to have sex with you. It's just you're not my preference, but I enjoy your company. And that other person feels the same way. Great. They can be friends and mutually support each other and not feel like one of the other person is taking more from them. However, if sex has never been explored between the two people and they really like each other, you know, and they're man and woman and they're both heterosexual, most likely somebody gonna catch feelings in a sexual way and where they want to explore sex with the other person. And that's where it comes in at. That's why it's best to either have sex already, you blood relatives, so you don't even see each other like that, or it just doesn't work, you know, because at some point it might happen. You might start to have feelings for your opposite sex friend, and that's okay. Y'all can at that point explore that and say, hey, you know, I'm having feelings. I have sexual desires for you now, and at first I didn't, but now we've been so close with friends, and I want to explore that with you. You got to be careful when it's men and women, because of the desire for sex. All right. It's just the way it is between men and women. They're going to have sex. Right. So keep that in mind. Now, as a woman who's in a relationship with a man who does not want to have sex with her, it's the same feeling. He could sit up there and tell you about, hey, I was with this woman, that woman, or he could just, she could see him with other women. And if she's not getting her sexual needs met, that's painful and torturous for her. This is the same way it is for a man who is not getting his needs met by any other woman. He has this friend, a female friend he likes, and they're mutually supporting each other, but he's not getting his sexual needs met. That's torturous. There's a perfectly good vagina in front of him, but he can't access it. And the same with the woman. She can't have access to this man's phallus. And that's torturous. And I would say it's a lack of empathy on the part of the other friend, because if they know their friend doesn't have access to sex, and we talked about one of the human needs being sex to support the body, and they don't want to give them sex to support their body, not to say that they're responsible for getting this person's needs met when it comes to that area, but to know that they don't have sex with anybody else. They don't have sex because they don't have a sexual partner right now, and you're having sex and they're not, and you're perfectly available to give them that, but you don't want to give them that. You should feel on some level that I'm getting more out of the deal. I'm getting exactly what I want. I'm content, but then my friend is not content because their sexual need is not being supported, and they don't have anybody. Now, it's not up for you to decide to give them something you don't want to give them, but at least I would say if you're in a true friendship, your friend should be looking out for that particular need. And that means that perhaps your friend gets one of their friends to connect with you to take care of your sexual need, and vice versa. If it's a man or a woman, whatever. If it's a female who doesn't want to have sex with her so-called male friend, but she's cool with the whole friendship thing, and she knows he's not in relationship with any woman, and he's not out there getting his whistle wet, then it's important that perhaps if she loved him enough, if she had enough affection for him and admiration and empathy, that she would hook him up with one of her friends. You know what I'm saying? That would be the logical, supportive thing to do. And vice versa. If you had a female friend and you didn't want to have sex with, she just wasn't your type, you really liked her, and you had some male friends that potentially support her sexually, along with friendship and everything else, you should probably connect that up and set that up. Now, for most men, they may even take care of their female friend because that's how we are, But wouldn't be no need for the man to set up the woman because he'll take care of it. But this is what it is between men and women when it comes to friendship. It's the sexual thing, the desire to meet that need. And so they have to be mutually sexually attracted to one another. That's a compatibility issue. So, if that's not there, then you're going to have to deal with that absence of one of the person's needs, not being met, unless they're with somebody else. But like I said before, this can work if your needs are being met outside with somebody else. That's fine. But even in that, some men would prefer to still have sex with the woman that they're friends with, even though they have sexual access to other women and they're dealing with other women. It's still a thing. So it's something you take into consideration when you become friends with the opposite sex. And unfortunately, a lot of men are in friendships with women that they want to have sex with. The women have pretty much put them in a so-called friend zone. And that is torturous for that man because he has to listen to stories about her with other men. In some cases, he becomes a man that is cock blocking other men from dealing with her. He hopes to one day be seen by her in a sexual manner, and most likely that's not going to be the case. If this is her doing and putting him in the friend zone, she hasn't seen him sexually. He ain't gonna never get it. And I've seen stories where a woman put a man in the friend zone. He was her friend for 10 years or so, some high school stuff until, and he was with her throughout all the boyfriends and perhaps, marriages or whatever. And then he puts his bid in again, and what happened was she married the man, and in 2 months she divorced him. And that's because she never was really feeling him sexually. She wasn't seeing him like that. She was using him for his friendship attributes, and it didn't work out for him. So when a woman puts you in a zone, it's usually for 2 reasons. One, you didn't show sexual desire for her enough for her to see you as wanting that, so you never spoke up and said you wanted that. 2, she never saw sexual desire for you because you weren't her preference. But it's important that men stand up early in a relationship. If they want to have sex with this woman, tell her up front, this is what I want to do to you, with you, and I want to do other stuff with you, but I do want to have sex with you. And get the answer up front, okay? Because sometimes these guys they should have just said something, they would have got it. Other times, she would have told him no, and then he wouldn't have to have wasted his time with this woman, thinking that somehow she would change her mind over time because she would see him in a different light over time. It's just not going to happen like that. So it's important to be upfront with people sexually, even women. Ladies, if you're in a relationship with a man, you call this your associate that's becoming your friend, your acquaintance, and you really like him, and he hasn't made a move, either he's not interested or perhaps you need to say something. If not having sex with him and being in a relationship with him is going to be torturous for you, you don't like that, then you have to end that relationship. Just say, look, I can't be around you. I really like you. I want to be with you sexually along with everything else. And to not be desired by you sexually is offensive, and that's a normal offense. Anybody can say that. Like, look, this person don't like me like that. There's no sense in you spending energy and time with them. You can still be an acquaintance to them. You can still be an associate of theirs. You don't have to be the enemy. You don't have to be anything else, but an associate. And that's how it is, Can you be a friend? Once again, yes. The answer is yes. You're free to mutually swap take care of each other's needs, and that's fine. You can do that. But just know that anytime sex is on the table, somebody has a desire that needs to be met, that it needs to be something that you got to work that out. So hopefully that exhausted the answer. The answer is exhausted and people got everything they need. Put any questions in the comment section. Thanks for listening to the end. I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can email me at neal@nealreal.com. You can also go to my website, NealReal.com. I encourage you to check out NealReal.com. That's NealReal.com. Or you can email me at neal@nealreal.com. Have a blessed day.